Hello, this is Aiden, and welcome back to The Great Leap Forward, Episode 4, The Impact and Legacy of The Great Leap Forward. The, the Great Leap Forward ended in 1962, 2 years after Russia's economic support for China ended. Mao Zedong's reputation had taken a beating, and so he ceded day-to-day leadership to others such as Liu Shaoqi and Deng Xiaoping. In total, the Great Leap Forward lasted 4 years and resulted in anywhere from 15 to 55 million deaths. A common estimate between these two is 30 million deaths, all due to famine and the natural disasters. 2 to 3 million deaths were believed to be by torture and execution. It is also believed that those considered enemies of the regime, such as opposing religion and politics, were given the least amount of resources during the Great Leap Forward. There are also reports that there were millions of lost or postponed births, leading to the higher side of the estimates and a large demographic loss. It is hard to get information about all the causes of death, as many have been attributed to the famine, and there were even many murders just to get food, as there are many reports of cannibalism, and there were other events of violence. Many chose to feed off the corpses around them to try to survive, and there are many documented cases, all in matters similar to this one. Date, February 25th, 1960. Location, Yahijia village in Hongtai Commune. Culprit's name, Yang Zhongsheng. Culprit status, poor peasant. Victim's name, Yang Sanshun. Relation to the culprit, younger brother. Number of victims, 1. Manner of crime, killed the victim and consumed the body. Reason, to survive. The two moderate leaders, Liu Shaoqi and Deng Xiaoping, during the time they had control, would dismantle the communes, restore private plots, and end the grain quota and begin importing grain as well to end the famine. Mao Zedong would later double down on his prior policies and radical ideologies, leading to the Cultural Revolution in 1966 as Mao wanted to regain his reputation and remove rivals, including both of the moderate leaders that just helped the country. There were no reparations for the victims, no compensation, or even proper accounting for all the lives lost, leading to finding the true amount of people killed during the Great Leap Forward very difficult. Most countries did not find out until well after most of it had already passed, except for Russia, who had originally praised the idea in the beginning of 1958, but by the end of the year already had doubts, which added to their declining relationship and eventually the Sino-Soviet split. The USA had prior refused to recognize the People's Republic of China due to it being led by a communist party, and it made information more limited and the propaganda contrasted with reality. China itself had suppressed a lot of the information regarding it, such as with the author of the book Tombstone, The Great Chinese Famine, 1958-1962, Yang Jisheng. He was not allowed to leave the country in 2016 to receive an award. During the 7,000 Cadres conference, Mao Zedong had acknowledged some of the blame for the man-made disaster, but other parts he shifted the blame to others, saying they implemented it wrong, and used this as an excuse to create a campaign against rightist opportunism. There is still a lot of political silencing on public discussion by scholars and activists, leading to censorship or even punishment. There is an author who brought his son to Tiananmen afterwards, and could still see the censorship everywhere. Mentioned that his books were banned in 1987, and on his way to the square, our movements were observed by the CCTV cameras in the lift of our apartment block and outside the front gate from our compound, by the listening devices in our taxi, by the armed police who lined the streets, and by the security guards who frisked us before finally allowing us on to Tiananmen. Ma Jian also brings up that he, among others, still cannot talk about the genocide. When I talk to young Chinese about 1989, I am invariably accused of spreading false rumors and being a traitor to my nation. When I bring up the subject with my old friends, most of them laugh scornfully, as if those events are now irrelevant. But I know that behind this show of derision or apathy lies real fear. Everyone knows that attempts to break the Tiananmen taboo can still destroy a person's life and the lives of their family. To understand about the Great Leap Forward is to understand that there is a lot that we can't find out because simply it wasn't documented. It wasn't, the writings were shut down, they were censored, blocked in the country, mainland China. There's just no way to truly know the true scope. And it is believed that many of the deaths were stillborn babies, but they weren't included in the estimates by the government, and the government provides lower estimates than the actual deaths because they wanted to save their reputation. To learn about all of this means we must try to do better, to find more information, and to try to prevent tragedies like this happening in the future. That's going to be it for this episode and the last one, I believe, of this series. So, have a good one, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Good night.